Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the regular City Commission meeting for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. May the meeting come to order. Everybody, please join me in silencing your cell phones. Thank you. Police Department Chaplain Bill Kitchen will give the invocation. Please rise and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance afterwards.
Father God, as we come into the Thanksgiving season, we have so much to be thankful for. This community that we live in, New Smyrna Beach, some of us call it paradise. I thank you for the people who are standing up here, who given their time, and sometimes taking the heat. We thank you for them, Father. And for the rest of us out here that we care enough to be here tonight, thank you for that. Thank you for this season. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chaplain. Today, for the Pledge of Allegiance, we have Ella June Adams. She's a fifth grader at Sacred Heart Catholic School. She's a competitive figure skater, plays travel-based softball, and she loves to fish. And just this past summer, she was awarded Master Angler by the state of Michigan for catching a trophy bowfin. Ella, go ahead and start.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone can be seated. Thank you, Ella June. City Manager, do we have any changes to the agenda?
We do not.
Okay, great. So we're going to go into announcements and presentations. And first up, we're going to recognize Miss Regis Sloan. Now, Regis, let me tell you about her. She is a go-getter. She is the kind of person who gets things done behind the scene all the time. But she likes to be usually behind the scenes. She doesn't like a lot of attention. So this evening, we're going to take her out of her comfort zone, and we're going to have her come up to the podium for a proclamation for all the great things she's done for the city. Regis, please come up. Testing.
Go back. No. We like
As soon as I start, it'll run out. Regis, thank you for coming up tonight.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to read you your proclamation. Whereas the city of New Smyrna Beach proudly recognizes those whose faith, compassion, and leadership strengthens the fabric of our community. And whereas for more than 25 years, Regis has led the Human Services Ministry of Our Lady Star of the Sea Catholic Church, dedicating her lifetime and talents to helping individuals and families in need with assistance for rent, utilities, food, transportation, and other essential support. And whereas through her vision and guidance, Regis Sloan has built a dedicated team of volunteers who provide aid weekly, ensuring resources are distributed wisely and compassionately, and has developed partnerships with local businesses and service providers to extend help where it is most needed. And whereas her leadership has extended beyond her parish, serving on the Southeast Volusia Habitat for Humanity Board of Directors, the Habitat for Humanity State of Florida Board, and New Smyrna Beach Housing Authority, and New Smyrna Beach Housing Development Corporation, where she has been instrumental in advancing attainable workforce housing, affordable senior housing, and vital home repairs to low-income residents. And whereas through her tireless dedication, wisdom, and unwavering faith, Regis Sloan has earned the trust and admiration of all of those who know her and has helped countless individuals and families find stability, shelter, and hope. Now, therefore, Fred Cleveland, by virtue of the authority vested in the mayor, as mayor of City of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, does hereby recognize and commend Regis for her many years of outstanding leadership and devoted service to the residents of New Smyrna Beach and Southeast Volusia County. Be it further proclaimed that the City of New Smyrna Beach extends its deepest gratitude to Regis for her compassion, integrity, lifelong commitment to improving the lives of others, and exemplifying the very best of our community spirit and faith. In witness thereof, I have unto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of New Smyrna Beach to be affixed to this 18th day, November 2025. Thank you, Regis.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been my avocation, my hobby for the past 25 years. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I've had the great grace to work with the most wonderful people within the community, and I know the community will continue to thrive, and I'll have a little part of it still. Thank you.
Okay, now, next up, we have the Citizens Academy for the City of New Smyrna Beach, the 2025 graduates. I'd like to call up all those graduates to come on up here. All right. Come on up, don't be shy. Okay, hi.
Hey, great to see you. Nice to see you. We haven't met yet.
Okay, for all you graduates of the 2025 Citizens Academy, the graduates over the 7 weeks, they heard the presentations by the city department heads and went on behind the scenes of city tours at City Hall, police and fire stations, public works, the airport, and leisure services. Added to the program this year were presentations from community leaders that work with the city in dealing with affordable housing, reducing homelessness, celebrating the arts, and expanding economic opportunities in the city. At this time, we would like to extend our gratitude and appreciation to the graduates for their commitment to learning about their local government. We hope you will share the newfound knowledge with friends and citizens and encourage others to participate in the city for the continual improvement of the City of New Smyrna Beach. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is there any of you who would like to say something? Okay.
I would like to thank Phil. I would like to thank Phil Vesky for his amazing getting everybody together and all his fortitude and everything he did for all of our classes. He researched everything. He brought us all together, and we learned a lot. And thank you, Philip, and thank you, City.
Thank you for those comments. All right. Scoot in for a group picture, everybody. Yeah, tell you what, you can come in the room. You don't need to stand. You don't have to. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, guys. That's it. Okay, moving on to city manager's report. City manager, do you have any report?
We have one presentation by Economic Development
Oh,
Director.
my apologies. I'm
Samantha
sorry. I
Bergeron.
missed that. Sam is going to give us an economic development report.
I'll be fast, I promise.
No, take your time. This is important.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Samantha Bergeron. I am the CRA and Economic Development Director for the City of New Smyrna Beach. I'm honored to be here this evening to present to you some of the highlights for the CRA and Economic Development over the past year. The overall theme of the past year has been investing in people, places, and progress. The big picture is basically shaping New Smyrna Beach's future. Here are some of the CRA highlights. As we celebrate this year, $1.2 million in new grants awarded, and 315,000 of them have been closed out. These CRA facade grant programs accomplish the goals established in the CRA plan, which state to provide business support services which will assist in retaining and attracting businesses within the targeted industrial and business areas. These programs maintain the economic health of the city, increase job opportunities, and result in a positive and attractive built environment. This is one of the projects that we concluded as well. This was CDBG funded, and CRA also funded a portion of the project, and this is the Mary Tot Lot. This is also a goal in our CRA master plan to provide and improve recreation facilities and public spaces through partnerships to ensure they are well-maintained, accessible, safe, and inviting. In the CRA master plan, there's also working with brownfields to remediate properties and enhances environmental quality to this particular property and surrounding properties. This is just a list of the capital improvements that are in our budget for this year. And moving on to economic development, this is just a quick snapshot of our top 10 employers. This also represents thousands of jobs that sustain our citizens and families, and we are working every day to diversify the industries in New Smyrna Beach. As we celebrate some of our successes, in 2024 November election, the New Smyrna Beach voters approved the Economic Development Tax Abatement Program. This is a tax break for city portion of the tax bill. It's only available to certain industries as listed on the targeted business industry list. Eligible companies would have to create at least 10 new jobs, and their median pay would have to be more than the Volusia County average. So there are some quite extensive caveats in being able to be eligible for this. Another one of our wins, of course, the Deering Park Innovation Center. The zoning was approved in May of 2025. The concept includes the hub for jobs, education, recreation, low-impact development, sports complex, vocational technical school, 1,600 plus acres of mixed use, 400 acres of preserved natural land, and the vision is really a live, work, and play in a park. We talk about a lot of our partnerships. A big partnership is with our Southeast Volusia Chamber of Commerce. I thank you all that attended the summit. It was a lot of many, many months that went into creating the programming for that, and there will be a follow-up regarding transportational regional planning, stormwater regional planning, and infrastructure regional planning were some of our walkaways and takeaways from that summit. The Southeast Volusia Manufacturing and Technology Coalition is our marketing and promotions partner. This is a new ad that you'll see in the Site Selection magazine for November, December of this year, and our next job fair is April 8th, 2026 at the Brannon Center. Another partnership, we work very closely with the Volusia County Economic Development. A few years ago, we created this Volusia Business Resources. All the cities got together with all of our chambers of commerce, Small Business Development Center, our universities here in Volusia County, SCORE, and banks, and all kinds of resources to help businesses prosper and grow and be able to just have a better business acumen in running their business. We have an upcoming event in March. This is our second year of the Volusia Innovation Challenge. It's basically a pitch competition, and there are prizes that are in kind, like a year at the incubator, as well as cash prizes to help them get their idea to the market. The great thing about this program is that there's the educational piece of it. So we have all of these partners we talked about. They provide classes and training so that not only are they good at getting their item or their idea to market, but they'll have a better business acumen, having how to write a business plan, how to write a marketing plan, how to be able to go to the bank and be able to ask for funds and what they need to have. So they'll be much more ahead and more ready the businesses have ever been. This is just a small list of all of the highlights from economic development for the last year. Just a couple of the high points. New partnership with Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. We had a local industry partnership day. We were able to invite our local businesses here from New Smyrna Beach to go to the university and get a tour. And the whole project, the goal of that is to be able to provide internships for our local businesses, and it helps them with their workforce development and their pipeline. And of course, a new newsletter, which I have out front. Whoops, I went backwards, I'm sorry. All right. And so what's next? We're working on updating our strategic plan, diversifying our economy and our tax base. New advisory board appointments will be coming to you hopefully in January. Workforce housing and workforce development and training, and just more in community engagement and being available for our businesses. And just a takeaway, just working together, again, very much stronger community and partnerships as we work together and move forward. And Christmas time is coming up, and we just please remind all of our citizens to please shop local, support our New Smyrna Beach businesses, and working together, we grow. If I have any questions, I'm happy to answer any.
Thank you, Sam. Questions? Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. At what point in the process is the number of required new jobs and pay level determined?
What do you mean required?
Well, you say that they have to create at least 10 jobs that are, what was it, at or above the county median? And I just, is that best effort, or is that something that's monitored and verified?
You're talking about the tax abatements program.
Oh, only the tax abatement.
Only the tax abatement program. So for that 10 jobs, every business has to do a state report, and it tells and it shares how many jobs they have that year and the average wage. If they are awarded, the commission awarded a company a tax abatement, every year they would have to verify that they still have those 10 businesses and that the average wage is still that wage. If they don't have it, then they are no longer eligible to receive it. So yes, there are checks and balances for that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Valerie?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can answer this or if you'll have to get back with me on it. But recently I'd asked for if our building permits residential were down this year from last year, and I was told they were. What about commercial building permits from last year to this year? What's that look like?
Actually, if you attend the Q meeting on Friday for Volusia County, they'll have that really nice report, but I will bring back those reports and put them in your boxes.
I'm only interested in New Smyrna.
Well, it'll have New Smyrna in there,
Broken
and it
out.
compares to every quarter as well as last year. Yes, ma'am.
And then the other question I have is we sunset the Economic Development Advisory Board. What are your plans for a task force, and what are you going to have them do if you are? Is that going to be in 2026, or what are your thoughts on that?
So it won't be another task force. We created an Economic Development Advisory Board because it's more of a broader scope. And right now I am seeking out, and if anyone else is interested, as we mentioned when we created that they have to be they have to live in New Smyrna Beach and also have a business in New Smyrna Beach. And so those applications are available online. I believe I have quite a few or a couple people that have submitted applications, and so my plan is to bring that to you in January. I hope to have a full slate by then where you all can appoint those members.
When do you want the resumes in by?
We need them in probably by the first meeting in December, around the 13th, so that I can get them uploaded for the January meeting.
Is it possible that Sharon could post the qualifications on our agenda for the next couple of meetings so that they know?
Yes, we can do that.
I've had people ask me, and I wasn't sure. I knew we used to call it Economic Development Advisory Board, then they changed it, then they changed it back.
Yeah, we changed it back so it has
Okay.
a broader scope and more of a continuing, just more consistency that way. And the eligibility requirements are on that on our website as well.
On your website?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I hope people are listening and that if they're interested in bringing jobs to our city, that it's very important for me because when our future generations graduate from high school and college, they're having to move to Orlando and Daytona, and there's just not a lot of job opportunities. If you go back, you know, it was, what, 1,500, or it was very little opportunities that we have, so 15,000 maybe. So we don't have a lot of, you know, job opportunities here, and that is a huge importance. And thank you for all of this nice information you laid out.
Yes, ma'am.
You've done a
Happy to do
lot in a small amount of time.
it. Thank you very much.
Sam,
Go ahead.
you want to speak?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask her, you know, we've got good cottage industries, homegrown, particularly with people under 40. And I wondered if there's any reach out or coordination with any of those.
We've had some that we've had pre-application meetings with, and I try to hold their hand and walk them through the process and try to help them find a suitable location and walk them through the process. Mm-hmm.
Sam, thank you. Only question I have is, do you know, I may have missed it, but do you know off the top of your head approximately what the Volusia County average income is?
I haven't looked at it this year, but I know last year, I think it was about 46,000 and some change.
Okay, close enough. It gives me an idea of where that's at.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I appreciate all the work you put in and the importance of economic development for New Smyrna.
Thank you.
City Manager.
Yes, sir. Just a few things that I wanted to highlight this time around. Congratulations to our Citizens Academy graduates. Thank you for participating in that program. Thanks to Phil for coordinating the program, and thanks to the department heads for putting those programs together. And really do appreciate the partner agencies participating with us this year, too. I think that was a good addition to the program. Wanted to give a special thanks to our finance team. The digital budget book is available online in record time, and so we've pushed really hard to be as transparent with our finances as we possibly can be, and having this budget document available at this time has been something that I really wanted to get done, and they exceeded my expectations there, so I do appreciate that. On a not-so-fun part, we did kick off our annual audit. You heard from the audit firm a couple of weeks ago, and they were in town last week to get things kicked off. You'll recall that we had an outstanding audit last year, and there were no findings whatsoever, and I fully expect that we'll be in the same position this year. I attended the Veterans Day celebration. I think most of you were there. It was outstanding, and also had opportunity this past week to attend the Advent Health Holiday Charity Ball. It was a really nice event, and just wanted to say thank you to Advent Health for their investment in our community, in our community's health and well-being. And also last week, the Florida Inland Navigation District Board had a meeting here in New Smyrna Beach. Of course, our very own Buddy Davenport is the chairman of that organization, and we have partnered with them on multiple projects, and we have some ongoing projects with them, and they have invested significant grant funds in our community, and wanted to let them know how much they are appreciated, and we appreciated them being here in town. And that is my report, and I've written down some of the things that you've asked for this evening. I'm happy to follow up and get you information on building permits and income, those kind of things.
Great, thank you, City Manager, for the report. At this time, I'd like to open public participation. You'll speak for 3 minutes. There'll be a green light. Once the light turns to yellow, you have 1 minute left, and when the red light comes on, that is your time to end speaking. So at this time, public participation is now open. Please come on up. Please state your name and your address for the record.
My name is Elizabeth Bell. I live at 2224 Deerwood Drive and have lived in New Smyrna Beach. Lived in Florida all my life, but lived in New Smyrna for over 25 years. I enjoyed the Citizens Academy. It was very good. Y'all did a great job with that. But I do have a concern. I applied for a building permit in October. They tell me now I may get it in December 17th. What is it I'm trying to do? I'm not building a 20-story building. I'm trying to replace an existing driveway that will not be 1 inch longer, 1 inch wider. It's 37 years old, and it really looks pretty tacky. So I think we have a problem with the building department if it takes 2 months, because it was approved by my HOA October 20th. If it takes 2 months to get a building permit to replace an existing driveway, he said it's got to go to engineering, it's got to go to zoning for an existing driveway. I think we got a problem in the building department. So that's my problem. I hope you all will address it in some manner and we can get some resolution, because getting it December 17th is probably not going to get laid before Christmas and everything else, and he applied in October. So seems a bit long for me. If I was trying to build a 20-story building or even a new house, I could understand it. But replacing an existing driveway that's been there for 37 years doesn't look to be that complex to me. Maybe you all can enlighten me, but I don't find that amenable. Particularly when we're trying to do economic development. What do those people run into? I tried calling the gentleman back today that I talked to last week, and then I got his machine, and so I haven't heard back to find out if it moved up in the queue. But last I heard it was December 17th.
Well, Ms.
Thank
Bell,
you very much for your time.
thank you for your comments, Ms. Bell. And go ahead and leave your, Ms. Bell, go ahead and leave your contact information with the city clerk, and we'll look into that. We'll have a staff member get in touch with you. Anyone else? Name and address for the record.
Hey, good evening. Thank you for all being here this evening. Audia Ricker, 815 Willard Street. I just want to reiterate what Commissioner Perrine said, about taking care of our students and our children and bringing that up. And Sam, I was one of the Citizens Academy. Sam, you were amazing. She came in, she talked about all these opportunities for students to get different graduation, different certifications, working with not just going to college, but looking into our community for, just amazing, like going down to what's the boat company down there in Edgewater? I can't think of it right now. All these opportunities for students to not have to go to college, to have, different options in our society. And I'm a substitute teacher, And I love our students. And I'm just going to tell you something. You probably don't know this. Florida is the very last 50th, yes, 50th state in money for our teachers and our substitute teachers. We are last. We are the last. We get the least amount of money for our teachers. Our county needs to look at this. And I'm going to tell you that Volusia County not only is the last, but it's like the last of the least paid teachers in our state. So out of 50 states in our nation, California being first, Texas being second, in the school students that are enrolled in school students enrolled in school, Florida is third in the number of students enrolled in school, and we are last lowest paid teachers in the nation. That is a problem, my friends. That is an issue. A substitute teacher, I make $15 an hour. I could flip burgers at McDonald's, but I choose to be a substitute teacher because I love students and want to do and help them to be better. Are you kidding me? $15 an hour, and I could go work at McDonald's and flip burgers? We're the least paid county in the entire state of Florida, and we're the last paid nation. Sorry. Thank you.
It's okay. Ms. Reger, thank you very much for your comments. Appreciate it. Hi.
Hello, everyone. Vice Mayor, Commissioners, staff, Sharon Glenn, 1111 South Atlantic Avenue. First, I'll start with some thank yous. I'll start with a thank you to the New Smyrna Beach Fire Department for helping me out today. We had a little fire. They were awesome. Second, want to thank Mr. Cowper and everyone for the Citizens Academy. It was awesome. I really enjoyed everything. I'm going to try and be really quick. I also want to go to a few things. With respect to item 11A, with respect to the meeting times, I had listened to the discussion, and I understand these meetings get really late, but it's really hard for most people who work to get here. I mean, 6:30 is hard for me sometimes. 5:30 would be basically impossible. I was unable to go to the P&Z meeting for items 11B and C because I was working. So 5:30 is a little bit too early, so I hope you consider finding a in-between of at least 6 p.m. like Commissioner Martin had suggested, because 5:30 is going to make it hard, especially if people work in Orlando and have to drive here for the meeting. With respect to items 11B and C, I'd like to thank the developer and their team for taking into account what we with Save Our NSB had mentioned with respect to the parking garage. So I really appreciate, at least from my perspective, everything that they did to try and consider our concerns with that project. I will note some of the things that I'm concerned about with respect to it. One of them, namely, is changing the comprehensive plan just for one project. This kind of goes to something that personally bugs me with respect to spot zoning. I don't think that we should be changing zoning on projects or things just for one project. So if there's a way to work something with this project, because like they had mentioned, I'll be really quick, with the townhouses, that seems to be okay, but single family homes are not, and townhouses aren't commercial. So I don't understand what the distinguishing factor there is. So I just wanted to mention that. And then they had mentioned in the meeting that to use South Florida as an example. Please, God, don't use South Florida as an example. And with this project, if we do move forward, keep the setbacks and buffers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Glenn. Appreciate the comments. Good evening.
Good evening. Cindy Snuzak, 512 Yupon. I also wanted to speak to 11B and C. I was at the zoning meeting and know that staff did not recommend for this change to occur because it's in direct conflict with some principles in the comprehensive plan about not losing commercial zoned properties and turning them into something else. That's exactly what this one does, and I'm unclear, because I'm not sure what the developer's attorney presented, whether or not they're talking about a PUD or not, but they definitely talked about relief on setbacks and buffers, such that they were even going to give land to the Walgreens, because what they want to do would otherwise make the Walgreens property non-conforming, which is something we don't want to encourage. So I believe the attorney mentioned that the owner of that parcel, which is only 1 acre, right? And you're not usually allowed to do what they want to do on that 1 acre for commercial, but during the last recession, the commission voted to reduce the minimum from a PUD, for a PUD from 2 acres to 1, and they never changed it back in the 10 or 14 years that have passed since then. So there are other lots that are going to find themselves in this position, and I really hope that you don't follow the logic of the attorney, which is because this person owns several acres, over a dozen acres on 44, which they are going to move to change the zoning on as well. That's something that that they felt it was a good trade-out to get rid of this as commercial and make it residential, because it would more than be made up by what could be approved in the future. But something way down 44 does nothing to provide community businesses for this part of town, and that's why it's zoned commercial now. And I'll note it's commercial on 3 sides, residential just for the South Atlantic and Hill Street strip across from it. So it feels awkward to put, it's 6 lots, by the way. They proposed 8 homes there, each with a pool. And if you even look at the diagrams, doing that without reducing setbacks and having 2 driveways open onto Third Avenue, going down the beach ramp. 2 driveways will spit out onto that road, which you know what traffic's like, and 4 curb cuts for driveways will exist on South Atlantic, backing into that, and 2 more will exist on 2nd Avenue, I think it is. So all those things are really asking for a lot of give. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate the comments. Jess, slow it down for us now.
Good evening. Jess Romero, 780 South Scripper Street. I have concerns on item 11A and 11B. 11A, the tar time is, you know, the old golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. Well, you guys have the gold, and you're going to make the rules. And you're going to pass it 4-1, because that's how it's going to be. But my question is the process. I know that resolution, what comes first, an ordinance or resolution? We tried this with resolution 3525, which is going to amend 0425, dated January 28th, which gave the time, start time for the meetings and the delineation, how it goes in the flow in there. So we tried that. Commissioner Ashley made a motion. It passed 4-1 to change the times from till 5:30. And then we came with a resolution, and then that was pulled on an item. Now we got an ordinance, which changes ordinance in there. But that ordinance, what happens to that 425 that's still out there? Is that even valid anymore? Does that go into the ether? What does it go to? The second one is the comp plan. I watched the PNC meeting. I couldn't make it, but I watched it. And the staff denied the changes, for one thing. And one of the concerns that the board members had, a couple of them actually had, was the residents want the tax base to be different, basically. Instead of being all 83% property taxes, 10% commercial. They wanted higher to be more commercial. Now we're taking a commercial property and making it residential. So why are we doing that when we're saying, hey, we want more tax bases out of commercial, out of businesses here? So that's not become a business, for one thing. Yeah, you get property tax, but it's not a business. It's not commercial. And even with they said, what about Dearborn Park? Dearborn Park will make about another 2%, basically, on that. So I'm concerned that the attorney's here, and so is the architect. By the way, the project is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's a great job. Looks really great. But the comp plan is going to be changed. It's going to affect other properties here in town. So if you do one, what's going to happen next? I know they're going to be quasi-judicial, it's going to be a hearing, be legal, all kind of stuff in there, but I'm concerned that if we do one for one, when you change the comp plan for one project, it's going to happen again and again and again. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess, for your comments. Appreciate it. Joe, come on up.
Good evening, all. I'd like to talk to one of the items that's on the first reading, and that's 11A, the changing of the time from 6:30 to 5:30. The issue is an item that the mayor brought up at this forum, and that is to increase citizen participation in these activities, because you're addressing everything within the city, and that's important. The first to do otherwise, to change the time, kind of disenfranchises the voters. And if you look at social media, and I know a lot of you people don't do that, but they're screaming about different things, and that's one of the big issues. First action was the city charter, Amendment 1, the ability to change the term from 2 to 4 years was counter to the voters aspect. The second was the Second Amendment, which was to change the voting process. The third is, even tonight, as we stand here in this venue, there's another city meeting going on at the Brandon Center. We're good, but we're not that good to sit in two places. And now this ordinance, which is going to disenfranchise the debaters, not only the residents, but also the business owners. And lastly, I'd like to make a couple of comments about the business impact statement. One of them dealing with the morale, the health, the well-being of the citizens. And the answer is that we're changing the start time. It doesn't really answer what, in fact, the question is asked. The other is an estimate of what the impact is going to be on the merchants. Almost all of them will still be working, and yet the answer down here is none. I would hope that those elements would go into your thought process. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Is there anyone else for public participation? Seeing none, I'm going to close public participation. Move on to consent agenda. Does anyone on the commission have just a quick statement about any items on consent? Seeing none, does anybody want to pull an item from consent? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Oh, Lisa, motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. City Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McGurk?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, consent agenda passes. We have nothing on administrative items, quasi-judicial. So we're moving on to ordinances and first readings. Ordinance and first readings, City Attorney, please read the ordinance. Thank you, by title.
Ordinance number 8325, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Section 2-51, Time and Place, to revise the time for commencing regular City Commission meetings, providing for codification, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be December 9th, 2025. And I just wanted to address the confusion about that item. So sometimes when you all vote to change something, we actually have to bring the item back for formal consideration. And so that's what's going on with that. When this item is placed for second reading and public hearing on December 9th, we will simultaneously on the same agenda have the companion item, which is changing the end time should this ordinance pass. So that's what it is. There was basically direction to bring this back for formal consideration. we're lining up the considerations so that it makes sense in flow.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 8425, an ordinance amending the City of New Smyrna Beach Comprehensive Plan, changing the future land use designation of 1 ± acres of property generally located on the south side of 3rd Avenue, west of South Atlantic Avenue, north of 4th Avenue, from city commercial to city medium-density residential, providing for amendment of the associated comprehensive plan maps, providing for public hearings, providing for conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be January 13th, 2026. And depending on how you all vote in December, it will either be 5:30, 6, or 6:30. Ordinance number 8525, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach rezoning 1 ± acres of property generally located on the south side of 3rd Avenue, west of South Atlantic Avenue, north of 4th Avenue, addresses 1300 South Atlantic Avenue, from City B2A Neighborhood Business District to City R3A Single Family and Two Family Residential Zoning District, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be January 13th, 2026, exact time pending the results of our vote in December. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you for the first readings, City Attorney. Moving on to boards and commissions. We have an appointment to be made, one appointment to be made on the Turnbull Creek Land Preservation Committee. City Clerk?
Correct. We have one appointment today for the Turnbull Creek Land Preservation Committee. This vacancy is due to resignation. This board meets quarterly. Their next meeting is scheduled for December 15th. And there are 5 members on this board which are appointed by the commission. We have 2 applicants who are being presented to you today, Lauren Sullivan and Randy Hartman. I do want to clarify that Randy Hartman does sit on our pension board, but he is allowed to serve on both boards because the Turnbull Creek Land Preservation is not a board that makes decisions. So it's up to commission decision.
Thank you for that clarification. Is there any nominations to be made?
I would like to nominate Randy Hartman.
Randy Hartman.
Any other nominations? Okay.
Okay. So I'll call roll.
Yeah, let me you want a motion on that, though?
Yes.
Motion for Randy
Commissioner
Hartman?
Kareem.
I'll make
that
that
was-
motion. And
Second.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Okay. Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley,
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine,
yes.
Vice Mayor McGurk.
Yes.
And that's all. And we have one board vacancy notice. The the Building Trades Examining Board will be brought to you for the next meeting.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. And congratulations to Randy Hartman for a unanimous approval to the Turnbull Land Preservation Committee. Moving on to Mayor and Commission comments. Commissioner Perrine.
I have some clarifications on the time on the first reading. Can I bring that up in this so that we can have the citizens hear the clarifications that I have in question as well? So I thought we originally talked about the time changes being a process improvement so that the staff wouldn't have this lag in time from leaving work to coming here, and sometimes we have different people having to be out in the audience for presentations, budgets, and whatnot. Are those most of the people salary or hourly that we're trying to do the process improvement for? Because we're thinking of citizens. People are looking at citizens just rushing here to get here on time, but it's also taxpayer money that we're spending if it's salary and hourly. Because explain, if the people are here, do they get comp time off for being here at night? And if it's hourly, do we pay them overtime?
So there's probably we probably do a variety of things. Your department heads are salaried employees. They would have flex schedules if they choose to do that. They don't get a lot of flex time because we have a department head meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock, so we're usually straight back at it. Some of the employees let's say, the planning staff that make presentations, several of those would not be your typical salaried employees, and we would either deal with that typically with comp time.
So I personally don't have an opinion one way or another. I think I see pros and cons both ways. I see the pros on getting our quasi-judicial hearings over sooner so that we don't have to extend it to another day and we can get it all done in one night without a lot of extensions. So that's a positive. The other positive I see is that if you look, we just finished public participation and we have a very light crowd, and it would have been, if we run it an hour before, it would have been 6:20 finishing the public participation, or 6:15. So most people can be here by then to get into public participation. What we start is the Pledge of Allegiance and the prayer and awards, and a lot of times it's an hour later before we even start public participation. So I see pros and cons, both of that. I want the public to be here. But the other thing I see is we always start workshops at 5:30, to my knowledge, and we haven't had a problem with getting people to attend those. So with the process improvement of the staff not having to wait an extra hour and have comp time having to wait so late at night too for the quasis if they have to speak, that's a huge plus in my opinion. But then the citizens need to be here as well. And I hope people show up next meeting and speak pros and cons of what they would like to see, a process improvement, or if people can get off work in time. Because I think it's important that the citizens speak and we hear what they want us to do, because next meeting is going to be the vote.
Yeah, just a couple of things on that, if I may. And I don't want this to be about the staff and only the staff. I think that is one benefit of moving the time up, but that's only one thing. And I've been in this business 35 years, and I've done every kind of board meeting and commission meeting you can think of. My experience is that people will be here no matter what time of day you hold the meeting. There's pros and cons to having it in the morning versus the afternoon versus the evening. But my experience has been that people will come to the meeting if they want to be at the meeting, and the time really doesn't impact the attendance one way or the other. And that's just a generalized statement. That's not going to be true for every single person. But certainly, if the idea was process improvement for staff and only staff, we would be having these meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning during in the workday. So just want to put that out there too.
Okay, thank you, City Manager.
Yes,
Are you done?
Those are great, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Martin?
Sorry. Yeah, I'll add to that I think that we really need to put the community, the taxpayers, the one that pays all the salaries, perhaps they should get a little more, a little higher place on the decision chart. And once again, I suggested 6 p.m. and I thought that was a compromise. Anyway, okay, so had a good time at the Images kickoff. Images is our last weekend in January, and I hope everybody's getting excited about that. I attended my first Fine Commission meeting and learned more about the district and how that works. And I got to participate today in one of my favorite programs, the annual Rotary Literacy Project, where I'm a member of the Rotary, and we went to Coronado Elementary to give each third grader a book that includes dictionary, thesaurus, and atlas. And much to my amazement, the kids are thrilled by these books. And they all of a sudden want to see about synonyms and antonyms, and they go to the atlas to look up where their family came from. And it was just, it's really astonishing and a lovely, lovely afternoon.
Great. Good to hear. Commissioner Ashland?
Yeah, I have a couple of comments. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of attending coffee and conversation with Dr. Balgobin, who is the superintendent of schools of Volusia County. And what was interesting about that conversation, there was about 30 people that attended from different cities around the county. What was amazing is how they are looking into AI and how it will help our school system in Volusia County improve it. So the first thing that they talked about was school safety, and they talked about installing cameras that are AI friendly, AI smart, so that the cameras could actually talk. The cameras would identify people walking back and forth, date stamp, time stamp, everything. And you would literally have instant communication with police and guardians that are going to be located inside the schools, if I understood correctly. And secondly, as far as teaching and learning goes, teachers will be able to access AI to help individual students almost on the spot. And students, on the other hand, will be able to access AI to ask a question immediately. And I'm shortening the presentation, but look into it. It's really truly incredible about what's going on with the AI in the Volusia County schools. And by the way, this is all being paid for by a grant from the state. So we are one of 3 counties that are being used as not guinea pigs, but experiments to see what works and what doesn't work. And next, tomorrow, I am going to have the pleasure of participating in the Great American Teach-In. And I will be attending 3 economics classes at the New Smyrna Beach High School, and presumably talking about what it's like to be a commissioner. So I'm quite excited about that. So.
Great, that's good to hear. You know, our school system, our education, technology, and technology is great. The AI is all coming, but it is sad to see that kids are not being taught to write. They're mostly watching videos to get their education. They're not embracing reading, and that is it's a shame. I hope someday that kind of comes back the other way. So anything we can do to encourage kids to read, I'm all for. As for the start time of meetings, you know, I think there's a lot of valid points to be made. I don't necessarily think it's a right or wrong issue. And I think that we're going to have a very robust discussion about that at the next meeting. So those are all my comments. City Attorney, do you have any report?
Just 2 things I wanted to mention. Either the last commission meeting or the one before that, there was a comment about the spirit of the Sunshine Law was not met with the special election for the charter review. And to me, it's just like what happened with this change in time. There was direction, we want a special election. Those ordinances were brought back. There was first reading, where there was an opportunity for public comment. And then at the public hearing, 7 more opportunities to talk about that. So sometimes not everything you read or see in social media is accurate. The other thing I wanted to mention is some of you may have seen that already, but one of our federal lawsuits, the city was granted summary judgment today. So that's a big win for the city.
Great. That's awesome to hear. Fantastic. City Clerk?
Not at this time, thank you.
All right. Well, with no further business, the meeting is adjourned.